Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match reaction for Arsenal's 1-0 victory over Watford. We got away with one there. We should never really have gotten away with it. This game should have been 5-0 even before halftime. We should really never have needed to get away with it. But hey, 3 points, how the game turned out to be. You can never obviously take all your chances every single day and things like that. Sometimes things usually turn out different. And what you need to do, we didn't play badly, but what you need to do when things are not going your way, you need to take the 3 points. You need to fight for the 3 points. And that is what we did today. Should never really have gotten away with it. I was so glad that they got that red card because that basically took off their momentum for the next 5 minutes. Because if they actually did remain with 11 men, they should really have gotten another chance in that game. So we were pretty lucky in that case, but I think we played a bit well. We should have been 4 goals ahead, 5 goals ahead. Missed penalty, we'll come to that. A couple of chances. Foster, the cycling GK, was on top of his game today. If it was not for Foster, could have been like 4 or 5 for us. But hey, we'll take the 3 points. That's 10 games unbeaten. As usual, we'll go through the lineup. We'll go through how the game went. 1-0 victory, 1-0 to the Arsenal. We're actually winning a lot of games by 1-0 this season. So that's one positive already. We kept yet another clean sheet. If we can keep clean sheets like that, I am pretty happy. So I'll try and bring up the lineups very, very soon. Just a moment. Ayume says, well played. Absolutely. Oba today, yeah, I mean, it wasn't his day. I don't think he played badly, but it wasn't his day. I mean, like that Odegaard shot that was going in, that was a calamity. Saleh says, very nice, absolutely. Another 3 points. Danny Rowe should have been sent off. Tactical. If you play against Arsenal, you cannot get a red card unless it's in the 90th minute and the game is over. That's the only time you can get a red card. Apart from that, if you're playing against Arsenal, it's never a red card. Cookie says Smith Rowe goal shows his talent. Now we can thank Southgate for not picking him so he can have a rest. Although he won't have a rest though because he's going for the under-21s, Cookie. That's the problem. He'll still play 3 games for the under-21s. So if he really has to go to England, let him go to the main team, not the under-21s. That's the problem. He also says if West Ham beat Liverpool, then after the break we beat Liverpool. I mean, that will be hard. Let's not go into the Liverpool game expecting to win. Let's not do that to ourselves. Let's go there. First of all, I think when you go to Liverpool, we'll play a back 5. That's the first thing I know will happen. We'll play a back 5 on that day. So let's go into that game hoping for a performance, hoping for a decent performance. We've never really had that at Anfield, but let's not go into that expecting to win. Tactical says should have been at least 3-0, but a win is a win. Yep, that's what you need to do. A win is a win. These things can happen. Like Chelsea yesterday, I watched Chelsea against Burnley. They had so many shots, so many missed chances, and then Burnley with the outrageous football, long ball football, they got 1 chance, they scored 1-1, and that's game over for you. Bar says, really, we need an attacker. Yeah, probably we need an attacker, yes, of course. But again, I don't think Aubameyang and Lacazette were absolutely useless today. Yes, we did miss some. I don't think we missed chances. I think Foster was really good. Today. I don't think it was because we missed a lot of chances. That is why I didn't get a second goal or third goal. But later on in the game, there's a lot of spaces I saw for Aubameyang and for Smith Rowe, and there was no one really to pick out that pass. That was the problem. Tactical says Smith Rowe, our wonder kid, strikes again. His finishing has gotten better. Absolutely, that is why I have him in my FPL team these days. He is absolutely great so far. I want a point at Liverpool. Yeah, that's realistic, okay, that's realistic. So let's go through the Arsenal lineup. Hopefully I have it. Hopefully you guys can hear me well, by the way. Hopefully got the right lineup in. I usually have so many graphics made. So yeah, that was our lineup for today. We started with Ramsdale in goal as usual. Gabriel, Ben White, Tomiyasu, and Tavares at the back. That was our back line. I'm happy to actually keep a consistent back line. Only Tierney who will be back. By the way, I'm going to ask you guys here, make sure to smash the like button. And question before I go back to that, if Tierney is obviously fit now, so what do you do against Liverpool? Would you start Tavares again against Liverpool, or would you bring in Tierney? Let me know in the comment section as we go through the lineup. Personally, I think he'll play a back 5 with both of them. And then in midfield, we had Lokonga and Niles. By the way, what a performance from Niles. He was exceptional today. Because missing Partey, that's a huge thing. Missing Thomas Partey in such a game, that's a huge thing because he has a lot of benefits into our squad. The passes, he's even scoring goals today. Long passes, through passes, tackles, just holding to the ball. the physicality in midfield. There's a lot he adds to our team that no one else can do. So Niles performing like that, I was so glad to see him doing that. Lokonga, again, I think he was great today. I think Lokonga was perfect today. And then on the left, we had Smith Rowe. On the right, we had Bukayo Saka as usual. And then up front, Aubameyang and Lacazette. Lacazette usually comes back to normally a number 10 position. And then on the bench, as you can see, Tierney was back. Cedric is there as well. Holding El Neni, Odegaard, Martinelli, Pepe, Nketiah, and Leno as the backup goalkeeper. So in terms of the lineup, I was definitely happy with the lineup. He started front two. Smith Rowe and Saka have been brilliant so far this season. I don't think you can make an argument for Pepe starting ahead of Saka or Smith Rowe. I don't think he's shown us enough to start ahead of Saka or Smith Rowe. Maybe the only argument you'd say is if you prefer Neni ahead of Niles in that midfield, or maybe you just wanted Lokonga in that midfield and start Odegaard or in Martinelli instead of Niles, that could be an argument for you. But that was our starting lineup for today, which I was happy with. I was happy with that lineup. So let's go to the Watford lineup. Watford had Foster in goal, the cycling GK. He turns up against Arsenal. You guys know Watford and Arsenal are neighbors in terms of training, literally next door neighbors. So Foster does see Ramsdale almost every single day. Cathcart and Kolu at the back, Firmino, Rose as the fullbacks. Rose against Salah when they played Liverpool and lost 5-0. Salah absolutely ripped him apart. So I was hoping to see the same from Saka. He did a couple of times, but not throughout the game. And they had Sissoko in midfield, Tufan and Kuka, who got a red card later on. They also had Dennis, Sa and King. I'm so happy that we kept the likes of Sa and Dennis quiet, because with their pace, they're usually very, very scary. And then on the bench, they had Bachmann, the backup goalkeeper, Ngakia, Ekon, Cleverly, Pedro, Messina, Fletcher, Hernandez, and Cielsa. So that was our starting lineup and Watford's starting lineup. What was I asking for in this game? The same thing I usually ask for from the last 5-6 weeks. Start quickly, which we did. We started very quickly once again. We had already intercepted the ball within the first 30 seconds. And we did score a goal within 6 minutes of the game, but it was disallowed. So I was surprised that some of you don't know about the rules. If you're behind the goalkeeper, that is always offside unless there are two defenders behind the goalkeeper. So that is usually offside. So that is the correct call. That was offside. As soon as I saw Saka scoring, I knew it was offside. But Aubameyang, that in that play, he should have scored by himself. Aubameyang should have been the one scoring. That was a very poor touch from Aubameyang. He should have been the one scoring that. The ball should have even gotten to Saka first of all. Aubameyang should have been the one scoring that goal. It would have been 1-0 within 6 minutes. So that was clearly offside. I do understand people saying, it's always against Arsenal. Yeah, you probably won't see that again this season. But that is usually the rules. If you're behind the goalkeeper, that's a red card. So that was within the first 6 minutes. Going into that goal, Niles with the interception once again. What a game. Niles intercepted the ball. I think that was the picture. He intercepted the ball there and then literally chipped the ball into Lacazette. Lacazette was trying to chip the goalkeeper as well, but it fell to Aubameyang. Aubameyang miscontrolled it. It fell to Saka. We scored. They celebrated, but it was offside. But Niles, that interception there. Interceptions are very important. An interception could be the difference between you conceding and you scoring a goal, and we saw it there. So that was a very, very good interception from Niles. So from there, I was like, you know what? It's okay. We've started very well. Let's keep on. We'll get a goal. A goal is coming. It didn't come, though. So Lokonga did get a yellow card. This referee, Kevin Friend, was all over the place today. He was giving yellow card after yellow card after yellow card after yellow card. Tomiyasu got booked. Lokonga got booked. Fairly, I think all of them were pretty much yellow cards. And then we got a penalty. We got a penalty in the 34th minute. Last season, the one thing I was praising Aubameyang and Lacazette for was every time we got a penalty, we never missed. Usually, I think the last 2 seasons, we've not missed a penalty until this season. Actually, I think Arsenal is the only team that hadn't missed a penalty since 2019 to recently against Martinez 2 weeks ago. We've been scoring all our penalties. So as soon as Lacazette went down and we got that penalty, I was like, give that penalty to Lacazette. Lacazette has never missed a penalty at Arsenal. Aubameyang has missed 3 before. He missed against Martinez. It wasn't a good penalty. It wasn't in the corner. He missed against Tottenham. He missed against Man City. He's not the best penalty taker. Aubameyang, Lacazette is better than him. So I was screaming for Lacazette to take that penalty, but being the captain, I guess, he let him take it again. And again, it was a poor penalty. He took it the same direction he took against Martinez. It was even very, very much in the middle, not in the corner. When you're taking a penalty like that against those big goalkeepers, you need to put the penalty in the far corner, either left or right corner, because making it Foster is a good penalty saver. Pickford the same. I think Alisson is the same. I think the Brentford goalkeeper is the same. All these guys, they've been practicing penalties every single time. So if you take a penalty in the middle or not in the corner, they will probably save it. So again, he was also in my FPL team, so you can imagine how I was feeling. Aubameyang missed the penalty, so from now on, I guess if Lacazette is on the pitch, Aubameyang won't be taking the penalties. I think it's back to Lacazette. So that was a bit of a poor penalty from Aubameyang, and from then you start asking yourself, disallowed goal, we've missed a couple of good chances, we've missed a penalty, will it be our day? Because we've seen so much of these days so many times. You miss so many chances, and then the other team gets one chance and they've scored. So in the 39th minute, they did get a goal. White, they did get a shot, and White with a magnificent block. Ben White was great today as well. He blocked that ball, and then we got a corner in the 43rd minute. Another good corner. We've been scoring goals from corners. 4 games in a row he scored from a corner, but Gabriel's header was saved by Foster, he was absolutely incredible today, Foster, to be fair to him. So that was halftime. 45 minutes, halftime, 0-0. What was I thinking? Let's not panic. Come back to the second half, we can still get a goal or two. But, Arsenal, they always make it hard for themselves. So let me take more of your comments. Let's see. I want throw. Odegaard, Koki says Odegaard should have had a goal. Unfortunately, Oba tapped it in. Yeah, I don't think you can blame him for that. I don't think a striker can usually leave a ball just to go in. I think his reactions are just, this is a chance, let me score. I don't think you can blame him for that. Also, you can never really tell if it was going in. You could have hit the post and go back to Foster. You could hit the post and go in. You can never know. But if Watford scored, I can tell you would have been blamed a lot. Lineup for Liverpool: Ramsdale, Tavares, Tierney, Gabriel, White, Tomiyasu, Lokonga, Niles, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, and Saka. So I think Partey has to be in that game. I think if you don't have Partey in that game, you're in trouble. Partey has to be there. Niles played well today, but against Liverpool, you need that extra quality from Partey. I'd play a back 5 with Tierney moving to left centre back. That's what I'd do as well. 5-2-3. Only changes Lacazette out for Tierney to add more defense. Tactical says Niles was exceptional today. Bossed the midfield like Partey, Lokonga. Bit disappointing, I have to say. Ifeani says a striker is on the way. Das says no way Tierney and Tavares are playing together. I actually think that is what is going to happen, Das. I think we are going to play a back 5. So let me ask, if you're to play a back 5 against Liverpool, who would you prefer? Tierney and Tavares on the left side, or you bring in Holding? Because against Liverpool, they have Salah and Trent on that side bombing forward. You can't have Tierney up against Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold just by himself. You have to play 2 of them. So that is why I agree with Cookie. You have to go with Tavares and Tierney, because Salah is good. You cannot deal with Salah by yourself. That is why he scored more than 10 goals so far this season, and Alexander-Arnold. So just to be safe, you have to have 2 players on that side, and you also have to take Saka back to that side to make it 3, because you have to give them the respect they deserve. You cannot go against Liverpool toe-to-toe. Otherwise, they'll score 5 goals against us the way they've been doing over the years. Smith Rowe played like a holding midfield in the first half, but he got a lot better in the second half. Das always says rather have Tierney and Odegaard in for Tavares and Aubameyang. Against Liverpool, we are playing against Liverpool. Liverpool is not Watford. You cannot just go attacking against Liverpool. Because, okay, you can say we've not lost in 10 games, but you have to give Liverpool the respect, man. You cannot go to Liverpool with all the attackers. You cannot do that against Liverpool. That's suicidal. Salah, Mane, these guys always score against Arsenal. Alexander-Arnold, Robertson are like strikers on the wings. You have to give them the respect. So especially if you don't have Partey, you have to start with the back 5. Cookie says, I think Tierney can play as a good defensive player, and I'd prefer him than Holding. In no way for Tavares to be dropped in his recent form. I agree. Ifeani says we miss our midfielders, Partey in particular. Arsenal Republic, how are you? He says Maitland-Niles was amazing. He should start for Arsenal, and Lokonga almost cost us many times today, and then he should have started ahead of him. If any midfielder should be dropped, it's Lokonga, Partey, and Niles. Lokonga, good player on the bench. I don't think Lokonga was that bad. Come on, guys, you're being very harsh. I don't think he was that bad, especially in terms of taking shots and going forward. I think he was pretty good. Well done, Emirates Stadium. Auba had the same run up against Martinez, I hope, and then took the penalty basically on almost the same side. Yes, in the middle a bit, but almost on the same side. So let's go to the second half. What was I asking for in the second half? No changes, of course. I think I was happy with that. I was happy with the squad, how it was going. So in the second half, I was crying for us to get a goal in the first 16 minutes or first 15 minutes, because when it gets to the 65th minute, 70th minute without a goal, it becomes very hard for you, and you start panicking, and if Josh King gets one chance, you're in trouble. So Aubameyang picked up a yellow card in the 51st minute. Lokonga did take a shot in the 46th minute, saved again by their goalkeeper. And then finally, we got the goal. We finally got the goal through this guy. What a player. That is what I was asking for from the start of the season. If Smith Rowe and Saka can add goals to their game alongside Aubameyang and Lacazette, you can definitely get that top six. If they can add their goals, and if Smith Rowe gets 10 goals and Saka gets around 8 to 10 goals, that can easily be top 5 for you. If they start scoring the goals, that can easily be top 5 for you. So I was really happy with that Aubameyang goal once. Not Aubameyang goal, I wish. With that Smith Rowe goal, nicely taken again on the corner. In the corner, Foster was magnificent today, but he had to really take that shot nicely. So I almost thought they were going to disallow it again with the way our game was going. And then we finally made the sub in the 68th minute, Odegaard coming in for Lacazette. I think a good sub at that time. Maybe he waited a bit too long, maybe 10 minutes too long. But Odegaard did come in. I think he played well after coming in, Odegaard. And then Gabriel did put up a nice block in the 71st minute. He also picked up a yellow card in the 79th minute. A bit careless there from Gabriel. But I think Gabriel and Ben White have been very solid together. Yes, they do make a couple of mistakes, but they've been solid together. Speaking of mistakes, Ramsdale, my goodness. We've been praising him so much, he almost cost us the game, Ramsdale. There, a mistake will always happen. Don't turn on him, but a mistake will always happen. But in the 80th minute, he was very risky getting out. I do like that Ramsdale kit, by the way, it is magnificent. But that mistake almost cost us the game if it fell to someone like a Mane. Now, for example, if that chance fell to Mane or Salah 2 weeks from now, that would be a goal. Salah would not miss it like Josh King. That would be 2-0 to them or 1-0 to them already. So at least make the mistakes in this game, not against Liverpool. So against Liverpool, that is a goal. So very lucky there not to cost us a goal there, Ramsdale. And then they did get a red card finally, as Tactical said earlier on. How did they not get a red card? They never get red cards against Arsenal unless it's in the 90th minute and the game is already over. Rowe should have at least been booked for that. Rowe should have been off. He made like 3 silly fouls in that game. Sissoko, he got a yellow card, made 2 fouls after that. No red card for him. The previous week, Evans fouling Aubameyang, no red card. The previous week, MacArthur fouling Saka, no red card. We are used to it. We're absolutely used to it. And then in the 91st minute, Foster made another incredible save from Lokonga. But how the game went, I didn't expect the game to go that way in the first half. We create a lot of chances. They never really had any chances at all. Watford in the first half, they never had any chances. We kept it solid again, but in the second half, after scoring, they did pick it up, created a couple of chances, openings, but Ramsdale only had to make like 2 good saves, only 2 good saves. So I was happy with how the game went. So I'll read a bit of more of your comments and then go into the player ratings because the Liverpool game is about to start. Let's see what you guys are saying. Ben White was amazing today. He was again. Ajsal Guna says 10 games unbeaten. 10 games unbeaten. Who would have thought? After that Man City game, we haven't lost a game. Basically, since the likes of Ramsdale, Tavares, Lokonga, Ben White, Odegaard, Tomiyasu, all of them came into the lineup, and Aubameyang recovered, Lacazette recovered, Partey recovered, Gabriel recovered. Since all those players came back, we've not lost a game. If you take a look at the Manchester City lineup against Arsenal, the Arsenal lineup against Manchester City on that day, 9 of those players who played on that day are not playing for us right now. Chambers, Holding, all of them, they're not in the starting lineup nowadays. Balogun is one of those games. I think Martinelli started in one of those games. Xhaka as well. Niles as well. Like 9 of those players who started in those games are not there right now. Bas says, keep it up, boys. Absolutely. Lokonga is our worst player today. Okay, we'll find out in the player rating. So he's got a painful groin. Probably will be picked by Ghana though to play in the internationals. They're now qualifying for the World Cups and crucial stages. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't play for Ghana. Hopefully he doesn't. So I'm not a Ghana fan. So if you're a Ghanaian watching this, sorry, but I want Partey to be fit for the Liverpool game. Don't blame Ramsdale, just lack of communication between him and White. He's been great for 9 games in a row, and today was good too. One mistake could have cost us a goal, but luckily nothing came of it. So let's get into the player rating. Let's get into the player ratings for the game. Let's see. Because some of you are saying this player will get the lowest rating, this player will get this. Let's get into the player ratings for today. 1-0 victory over Watford. Player ratings time. So let's do this. First up, it's Aaron Ramsdale. What are we going to give Ramsdale for today? A couple of good saves, but poor mistake. But yet again, If you keep a clean sheet, I usually do give you an extra point. So I know he made that mistake, but I am going to give Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, let's be honest, he's been getting 9s and 10s. This time round, I'm going to give him a 7. Ramsdale is going to get a 7 for today. I'm going to give him a 7. If we consider that goal, it would have been a 5 or a 6. But since he kept a clean sheet, I also like how he usually comes for the aerial balls. His long balls are on point. So let's not forget about all that. I mean, he was not making mistakes throughout the game. So Ramsdale gets a 7 for today. And the only time he did concede a shot in the second half, he was shouting at the defenders. I love his passion. So Ramsdale is going to get a 7 for today. Next up, let's go to the center backs. Gabriel and Ben White. I'm going to give Gabriel 8 or 7. I'm going to give Gabriel a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 for today. I usually take everything into account. So, for example, that yellow card, very, very silly, because he should just have cleared the ball first time round, but he decided to control it in his own side with 2 players closing in on him. So that was a bit of a mistake. He did clear a few balls as well, did put in a few blocks, kept a clean sheet. I think I'm being a bit harsh. Being a bit harsh. What did you guys give Gabriel? I'm leaning towards 8. I know I've written 7, but I'm leaning towards 8. I'm really leaning towards 8. I'm leaning towards 8, man. What did you give Gabriel? A few blocks, a few clearances, yellow card, an attacking header, kept a clean sheet. I'm going to stick to a 7. I'm going to stick to a 7 because I think we still allowed them a couple of shots later on. So I'm going to give Gabriel a 7. I'm going to give Gabriel a 7. That is because I do think Ben White is a bit better than him. That is why. So I'm going to give Ben White an 8 for today. Ben White gets an 8 for today. Not just because of the blocks, not just because of the clearances and everything. The way he was pushing us forward very, very many times. He had the ball. He was pushing us forward. He was pushing forward the ball, winning free kicks, winning fouls, picking out passes. Very, very good. I'm going to give Ben White more than Gabriel. I'm still really up 50-50 with Gabriel. I feel like I should give him an 8, but I am going to give Ben White an 8 for today as well. Gabriel gets a 7. Next up, it's the fullbacks. Tomiyasu, I think he was magnificent today, but I don't think I can give him anything higher than Gabriel. So I'm going to give Tomiyasu a 7 for today. Tomiyasu gets a 7 for today. Another good performance again. What an improvement he's been from Bellerin and Cedric, even Niles in that position, Chambers as well. We've had Mustafi playing in that position, Socrates playing in that position. Tomiyasu gets a 7 for today. And then the other fullback, that is Nuno Tavares, another very, very good performance again. We haven't missed any, let's be honest, we haven't missed any at all. Tavares. 8 or 7, Tavares 8 or 7. Won a couple of corners for us, kept Sarr quiet, won a couple of free kicks. Did he really lose the ball? I don't think so. Tavares, I think today deserves an 8. I think Tavares deserves an 8 for today. So I'm going to give Nuno Tavares an 8. Another very good performance. So correct me if I'm wrong. Comment down your rating for these players, but I'm going to give Ramsdale a 7. I'm going to give Gabriel a 7. I'm going to give Ben White an 8. I am going to give Tomiyasu a 7 and Tavares an 8. Listen, they kept a clean sheet, so all of them had a 7+ performance. Let's go to the midfield. Let's go to the midfielders. Let's start with Lokonga. Did someone say Lokonga was the worst player on the pitch? You're making me rethink my rating. Worst player on the pitch? Lokonga was not the worst. Was not the worst player on the pitch. I mean, the shots that were taken, I like how he's confident enough to take shots. Yes, he did lose the ball a couple of times. I don't think. Oh, come on. You know what? I'm not going to rate Lokonga yet. I'll let you guys rate Lokonga first because I don't want to give him a 9 and then you guys tell me it was a 4. I don't want to give him a 5 and then you guys tell me it was a 10. So let's go with Maitland-Niles first. I think Niles gets an 8 for today. Unbelievable performance, controlled the midfield. The interceptions are magnificent again. Coming in for Thomas Partey is not easy. That is a very, very hard job. That's basically like Loftus-Cheek at Chelsea coming in for N'Golo Conte, or back in the day, maybe, I don't know, Frimpong coming in for Fabregas or Flamini, those kind of days. I mean, it's not very easy. So Niles did his job today in midfield. Interceptions were great. The passes were great. The tempo in his passes were great. I was not scared to try a long pass. So I'm going to give Niles an 8. Could easily have been a 9, but I'm going to give him an 8. So Lokonga. What are we going to give Lokonga for today? I was really thinking 7. I was really thinking Lokonga 7. I mean, they didn't go through our midfield that many times. I mean, you guys are making me think. Let's see. There's someone who had said Lokonga was the worst player. Tactical had said Lokonga was the worst player. I also saw this guy, National Republic, saying Lokonga almost cost us many times. Are you serious? Was I watching the same game? I thought he was very good, especially in the final 10 minutes, trying to, control the ball, I'd say, taking the shots and everything. I know taking the shots are not everything, obviously, but you know what? I'm just going to stick to what I was going to give him. It's not easy playing in that midfield. I'm going to give Lokonga 7. I don't think he lost the ball that many times. Just correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to give him a 7. But if you guys give him a 6, it's okay. I'll obviously watch the game. And then when I come back tomorrow live, I'll be able to give you guys a more educated player ratings, because usually when you do these player ratings, sometimes you can miss a couple of things after watching the game once. You cannot look at everyone's performance, but I'll probably watch the game again 2 or 3 times tonight, so I'll give you guys an actual rating for Lokonga. But as of now, I'm sticking to the 7. The next player is going to be Bukayo Saka. I'm going to give Bukayo Saka a 7 for today. I think he was magnificent again. The crosses, he scored a goal, got disallowed, but every time Saka has the ball, I feel like something is going to happen, and that is what I love most about him. Again, controlling the right side very well. Gave Rowe a bit of a hard time, especially in the first half. As I said, scored a goal, got disallowed. In the second half, he was putting in some really good crosses, but no one to finish. He attempted some through passes to Lacazette and Aubameyang, didn't work out. But I am going to give him a 7 for today. And that takes me to his L-end brother, that's Smith Rowe. I'm going to give him an 8. The winning goal again today. He has scored so many goals recently against Leicester, against Aston Villa. I have to give him an 8. Another unbelievable performance from Smith Rowe. And he's actually becoming one of my favorite players at Arsenal right now. I'm going to give Smith Rowe an 8 for today. Magnificent performance once again. He's always all over the place. On the left, on the right, in midfield, on the attack, trying to win the balls every single time. What a finish as well. I have to give him an 8 for today. Smith Rowe gets an 8. Next up, let's go to the strikers. Again, I feel like I'm going to be a bit wrong on the strikers here. The first one is this guy, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, let's see. I don't think it was an awful performance, but let's try and point out the mistakes he made. Missed penalty. I think it was a poor penalty that instantly takes away 1.5 from your mark. That chance for Odegaard, I'm not going to blame him a lot, because as a striker, that's your instinct. You have to try and score, because if you leave it and it goes out, people will ask, why didn't you go for it? He also, what is the other chance? There was another chance where he missed. I mean, it wasn't his best performance, but I'm not going to give him a 3 or a 2 or anything like that. I think he was a bit involved as well in the play. But Aubameyang for today, okay, since he missed the penalty, I'm really thinking, Smith Rowe 8, Saka 7, Lokonga 7, Niles 8, Ben White 8. We won the game. It should have been 3-0 or 4-0. It was not 3-0 or 4-0 because of Aubameyang. So I think it was an average performance from Aubameyang. I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5 today. I think it was average. I don't think it was below average. He was still involved in the play. But yeah, he also picked up a yellow card. Very easily could have been checked and have been a red card. So Aubameyang, not his best performance. Not the worst performance in an Arsenal shirt we've seen once. But I'm going to give him a 5 for today. Almost cost us the game, obviously, with the missed penalty and the Odegaard chance, which I think is right for going for. And the yellow card as well. He was all over the place today, not the best of games. So I'm going to give Aubameyang an average 5. Lacazette. I'm going to give Lacazette a 6. He was involved in the play. I liked that touch from the Niles pass in the first half, where he controlled the ball and tried to chip the goalkeeper. You have to have some confidence to do that. He won us the penalty as well. Apart from that, didn't really have any chances at all. A couple of times where I thought you should have left the ball to Smith Rowe, he decided to control it and give the pass to Niles and some other players. So I'm going to give Lacazette a 6. So maybe you guys saying we need a striker, it could be right, but let's go through the ratings again. Ramsdale gets a 7, Tavares gets an 8, Tomiyasu gets a 7, Gabriel gets a 7, Ben White gets an 8, Niles gets an 8, Lokonga gets a 7, Saka gets a 7, Smith Rowe gets an 8, Lacazette gets a 6, Aubameyang gets a 5. And next up, we have to go to the bench. Odegaard, when he came in, he was okay. He was okay, but I don't think you can give him too high. So I'm going to give Odegaard a 6. That chance where Aubameyang was offside, Odegaard should have taken that shot first time with his left foot. I did not agree with him turning to his right, but he was involved. He won us a couple of free kicks later on, so I'm going to give him a 6. The same with Martinelli. I think Martinelli looked very lively for 5 minutes when he came on. I thought he looked very, very lively. So I am going to give Martinelli a 6 for today. Same with Odegaard. Who else came on? Odegaard, Martinelli. Did I forget anyone? Let's see. El Neni came on. Yeah, I forgot El Neni. I usually never remember El Neni. I think El Neni was also quite okay with the tackles and winning the balls. I'm actually even tempted to give him a 7, so I'm going to give El Neni a 6 as well. So I think all the subs coming from the bench, all of them actually did something, even though it was just for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. All of them did something. So Odegaard gets a 6, Martinelli gets a 6, El Neni gets a 6, and then manager is the last one. We are going to rate the manager. I'm going to give Mikel a 7 for today. I liked the starting lineup. Very, very brave to go with Niles. And since he picked Niles and he was probably the man of the match, I give him a point for that. Again, we started the game very, very quickly. I love that recently. I don't know if it's the instructions from Mikel, but we're starting the games very, very quickly, which I love. I'm going to give him a 7. I also love, what else? I mean, there's nothing really much, but we are creating more chances, I'd say. We are playing better. We've been playing better the last 4 games. Against Aston Villa, against Leicester today, we've been playing better. So the only reason is not getting an 8 or a 9. I think the subs, we waited for the subs a bit too long again. I think Lacazette should have been off a bit early for Odegaard, and then Martinelli should really come on in the 80th minute, not 92nd. Also, I think also some people will complain about bringing in El Neni, although you do need to defend the lead, but bringing in El Neni is basically like, you know what, we only need 1 goal. We are scared of you guys. We'll just defend this 1 goal. But hey, we got the clean sheet again. We got the 3 points again, so could easily be an 8. So not anything less than 7. I don't agree with anyone who's going to give him anything less than 7. So I'm going to give him a 7 for today. Just because it was a 1-0, we should really have scored more goals today. Not his fault. The strikers missed too many chances, especially Aubameyang. So I'm going to give him a 7 for today, the manager. So let's see what you guys are saying. I know the Liverpool game has started. Ramsdale 7, didn't have much to do. A good couple of saves get that to a 7. The clean sheet takes it to an 8, but that mistake brings it down to a 7. Yusuf says, nice one, Gunners. Nice one up with the Gunners. A good performance, good defending, good clearance, good blocks, clean sheets, and some good passing. Gabriel gets an 8 from Cookie. Tactical says Ben White gets an 8. Tavares gets an 8. Tomiyasu pocketed Sarr gets an 8. Cookie says Tavares gets an 8, did just as well as Tommy, but with more attacking play. Tomiyasu 7, great play on the wing, never lost the ball. Good defending and attacking. He gives White a 9. Maybe I'm exaggerating slightly, but his midfield play was incredible. He was the star for the build-up of that goal, and incredible defending too. We did allow them a couple of shots later on, so I usually look at that as well. Lokonga 6, a good shot on target, 2 shots on target, but kept, I think he actually took like 3 shots, 1 off target and 2 on target. Losing the ball could be a 7, but just a few mistakes. Niles, man of the match from Tactical. Smith Rowe 8, I can see Saka 8, Saka 7, Lokonga 5, Lacazette 6, Smith Rowe 8, Aubameyang was the worst player, never mind 4. Cost us 3 goals. Who was this? Aubameyang. Oh, not too generous. Glen was awful. He wasn't awful. Missing a penalty doesn't really make you awful. And did he really get a one-on-one chance where he missed like one-on-one with the goalkeeper? I don't think so. Yes, the penalty is a one-on-one chance, but I think 5 is fine enough. I think 4, you're being a bit harsh. But yeah, it got me -1 in FPL. Aubameyang 5 would have been 7, but loses 1 point for penalty miss and loses another for the tap-in, even though you could argue that wasn't fully his fault. El Neni 6, Martinelli 6, Odegaard, Martinelli both 7. I can actually agree with that. Bar says that is our wish. Referee 0, that's the most he deserves, and that's from both teams' perspective, surely. Not every foul is a yellow also. There's a couple of corners where he gave Arsenal corners where we actually had the last touch. There's a time he was supposed to give Watford a corner. He gave us a goal kick. He was awful. I want Lacazette to shoot more and not pass off to a midfielder. Yeah, he's a bit all over the place. Arteta 8, good starting 11 and good subs. Just a moment. ratings, I think we've done enough. So, referee, any other thing? Man of the match, man of the match, man of the match. We are going to give Maitland-Niles man of the match. I think he was incredible. Filling in for him is not easy. Filling in for Thomas Partey is not easy. So, after the game, I'll be back with a tactical breakdown after the Liverpool game. Obviously, West Ham have scored against Liverpool already. They're a very, very good team. So, those were the player ratings. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Make sure to hit the like button. I'll really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and also follow the page if you're watching on Facebook. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Keep staying safe. I'll be back live in a couple of hours, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.